My name is Dixie-Anna West, and I'm currently attending Grand Canyon University to earn my master's degree in special education. I've been tasked to video myself sharing my strengths and weaknesses when it comes to professional dispositions. I've also been asked to share what standards should guide a professional educator. I'll start by saying that I'm already an educator in the state of Tennessee. I teach 7th grade reading language arts, and 2 out of the 4 classes that I teach are inclusion classes with a special educator as a co-teacher. I've believed from the beginning of my educational career that each student can learn. Every student can learn, and it's my responsibility to utilize the proper tools and strategies for each student to reach his or her full potential. One strategy I implement each and every day at the beginning, middle, and end of every class is setting a clear target goal for each student to reach. I then ask each student to help me break down the clear target into kid-friendly language so that they understand what goal we will achieve together during our allotted time. It's important that clear targets for my students in my inclusion classes be attainable. So if I create a clear target for my regular education classes that I think is a little too challenging for my inclusion classes, I modify the target for them into smaller sections. This isn't saying that they're any less capable than my regular education students. This is just so that my inclusion students will not feel overwhelmed and quit on me before we even begin the lesson. This has not been a simple task. I've had to enlist the help of my co-teachers, academic coaches, and RLA collaborative team to ensure my students are receiving an equal opportunity education. With collaboration being brought up, that brings me to my weakness. One area that I've identified as a weakness that I need to improve upon by the end of my first year of teaching is being more involved in the community and being a leader in my collaborative group. I commute a little over an hour to the school that I currently teach at, so it's difficult to be involved in the community that I don't live in. One way I've tried to improve upon this weakness is that I have recently signed up to compete in a school triathlon at the end of February. Another part of this weakness is that I'm a first-year teacher, and it's true what I've heard. You survive your first year teaching. Up until just recently, I have just been surviving. One recent change I've made is getting ahead in the planning process in order to be able to collaborate more with my colleagues, as we have set a set meeting time each week that an academic coach works with 5 of us to come up with targets, lay out the schematic for each unit, and by preparing for my lessons ahead of time, I can contribute more and step up into that leadership role. But as a first-year teacher, I'm not going to stress too much about being a source of knowledge for someone else, as I'm still learning myself. Last but not least are the standards that a professional educator should hold oneself to. I personally believe that Grand Canyon University's professional dispositions for learners is directly aligned with how an educator should behave. Having high expectations is one way that I challenge my students. I challenge each class to reach 80% mastery of the material. Each class started around 40% mastery in October when I began and took over the classroom, and I have 1 class at the goal with 2 at 70% mastery and 1 at 69% mastery. My special education students are at about 45% for each inclusion class. I didn't come in with low expectations, and I will not lower the expectations just because they are not reaching that goal just yet. Another standard that I feel that I exude is professionalism. Professionalism is a necessity in any field, but in education it is essential for communicating with students, colleagues, and parents. And that concludes my professional dispositions at this time in my educational career.